The first season, which I haven't seen at all. This contains the Steam Ninja Scroll arc and the Konohamaru's Love arc. So yeah, I'm excited. Mirai Sarutobi isn't playing bodyguard for Naruto today, but for Kakashi, who's traveling with Guy. In conversation with Shikamaru, it comes out that she can't really use the blades from her father Asuma very well yet. And because playing bodyguard is an S-rank mission, Mirai sees danger in absolutely everything. At the same time, Kakashi and Guy wander the world like little children. In one village, Kakashi gets robbed, the perpetrator gets caught, and Mirai gets upset because she was supposed to prevent it beforehand. Whereas the purse was just a loser anyway. And then they arrive at a tree that is very special. Kakashi and Guy are very happy, while Mirai has no idea what's so great about it. This is the location for the filming of Flirt Paradise. So take a photo and the journey continues. Even when Mirai is told that it's not actually a super important mission, but just a relaxing vacation, she continues to take it so seriously. Kakashi calms her down later, enlightens her, with which she then also becomes a bit more relaxed again. Arriving in a hot spring town, a festival is taking place where everyone is wearing dog and cat masks. In the past, a guy found a hot spring through a dog, and so did a guy with a cat. That's why every year at this festival there's a dog and a cat faction that are always fighting. Among the dogs there's of course Kiba, and among the cats Kiba's girlfriend. They argue, and as respective leaders the conflict between the factions also becomes bigger. So Mirai tries to mediate. However, since both are a bit too stubborn, she tries it with a fake apology letter, but this only makes the whole thing even worse. Both parties are now ready for an all-out war and are facing each other. Tamaki thinks that Kiba doesn't like her anymore, and so it starts. But Mirai gets an idea. She creates a cat dog with a lighter. Almost it would have worked were it not for Guy, who destroys the cat dog and directly takes a wall with it. However, this connects the dog and cat spring and thus the two factions. Just like Kiba and Tamaki reconcile again. Mirai learns something about her father, and the end. Mirai and Tenten recover in the hot spring. She is worried that Guy is up to something strange again. But he has only seen a ghost, which Mirai doesn't believe in. Quite different from Tenten or Kakashi, who reports about the mysterious disappearance of lumps from the room. Mirai wants to prove them wrong, so they become the ghost facers. First asks the receptionist, who really knows something. This place was actually built as a recovery place for wounded soldiers. After the war, however, ghosts are said to have been seen again and again. The other employees also tell of strange things. Guy wakes up but doesn't want to know anything about a ghost. Rather, he wants to play table tennis against Kakashi. Yeah, he's just scared. After the game, Mirai gets to the bottom of the lead, Tenten almost gives Guy a heart attack, and the ghost has been found. She just wanted to go to the hot springs because her mother always wanted that too. So now they take her on that trip. Guy wants to get from there as soon as possible anyway. Not because of Tenten's actions, but because of the ghost armor that he actually saw in the night. The journey continues. Or not. A huge rock blocks the way. Actually, the hot spring was also buried under it. Not only that, but more and more young women are disappearing from the area lately. And just smashing the rock would leave dozens of huge debris behind. That's why Kakashi has called Choji to take care of it. But he needs something to eat first, otherwise he can't move. So off cooking some potato chips, talks a bit about Asuma, eats the chips, and with new strength, Choji starts to work. The whole village helps to move the rock, and when Choji gets serious, they throw the rock up a fucking mountain. Rock gone, hot spring comes back, some talk about Asuma, Choji packs some more chips and goes home, while the others take a break in the hot spring. It comes out that the girl didn't want to go to the hot spring to honor her mother, but heard something about a hot spring where you are supposed to meet dead people. Tatsumi asks Mirai if she would like to see her dead father. At first she says no, but then she changes her mind. Thanks to a map probably designed by a 3-year-old child, they know where this place is supposed to be. On the way, we learn that Tatsumi wants to apologize to her mother because she had a fight with her, and before they could reconcile, the mother died of an illness. At a fork in the road, the two meet another person who happens to have just come from the hot spring and is now playing tour guide. They end up in a cave where they are now a total of 20 girls. Perfect, because that's the exact number to perform the ritual. Couple of these girls have been waiting there for months. They all go to the hot spring full of anticipation and meet Ryuki, who is said to have perfected the Edo Tensei so that he can bring people back without sacrifice. He also has a ring, just like Hidan had one. The first one goes and apparently really meets the intended person. Then Tatsumi and Mirai go in and they also see the deceased. Some backstory of Asuma's death, then there's some booze. If they drink this stuff, there's a reunion with the dead. Mirai, however, is unsure, tricks Ryuki with a false statement and thus exposes him as a faker. He must have been standing there with a scythe the whole time, which certainly looks very trustworthy with his appearance. Ryuki didn't want to build up a harem with the woman, but to gain an immortal body through these offerings. And just lick Tatsumi's blood and she's his. Mirai is in trouble, so it's good that Kakashi and Guy come along. One kunai throw and there goes the control. For whatever reason. Ryuki runs away, Mirai after him. He manages to get her blood and takes over her will, stabbing the doll in the heart, completing the ritual. Nah, it's all just a genjutsu. Still thinking he's immortal, he goes kamikaze and gets blown away. Mirai is not good with the blades, everyone gets arrested. They part ways again and Tenten and Co were only in the area to track Ryuki down. In the Shogi game against Shikamaru, she also answers the question of who is king and the arc comes to an end. Naruto has to decide who he will promote to a chunin. Of course, the conversation is almost all about the chunin exam. They go through one by one, with the shortlist being Sarada, Denki and Sumire, with Sumire and Denki also being sorted out. So it's going to be Sarada. But then the best father in the world comes along, who screws up Sarada's promotion because she used to be oh so renegade. With it, Shikadai comes again into the closer choice and even gets it. And thus Shikadai became Chunin. Shikadai gets his first mission as a commander. However, because Team 10 is on vacation, he has been given Iwabi, Wasabi and Boruto. The team is supposed to pick moonlight orchids, which only bloom every 4 years. And in order to track down these orchids, they have been given a pig to help them. When they meet wolves, which would like to eat the pig, Wasabi wanted to scare them away with a scream, which worked well, but the pig also ran away. Found again, Iwabi and Wasabi argue all the time, which almost drove the pig to suicide on a bridge. Next, robbers are scared away, as is the pig. In addition, Shikadai is injured. He doubts the success because of the conflicts and wants to go through the whole thing only with Boruto. Too bad they got the wrong pig. For whatever reason, there's a random pig running around that looks almost exactly the same. The robbers have the original pig, so after them. But because Shikadai is injured, Iwabi has to help. Robbers caught, orchids found and mission succeeded, which was actually only a test. Boruto and the others get boosters. Shino is bummed that Kiba and even Akamaru got a card, but he wasn't immortalized as a card as well. So Boruto, Metal and Shikadai want to somehow get Shino out as a card. To do that, they go to Denki's father, who owns everything. And one card hasn't been set yet with the second generation of cards, which is the perfect chance for Shino. However, Metal Lee suddenly objects. He wants his father Rock Lee to be the card, as he was also left off the list. Who will make the running between the two will be determined by a poll. Boruto and Shikadai promote Shino, while Metal and Denki promote Rock Lee. Interim result, Rock Lee wins by a wide margin. However, Boruto doesn't give up. He has a Shino stone face made by Iwabi. Then it goes back and forth again until Shino and Rock Lee end the fight. A fire breaks out, which is why a child is in danger. Lee and Shino take care of it in a second though. New cards are out, boosters are bought, where they draw Rock Lee, but also Shino. Kakashi plays undercover boss again and takes a closer look at Team 25, who were complained about. They don't act as a team and each has his own head, which is why they always fail. Also, one of them is a big Kakashi fanboy, which is why he dresses like that. Suddenly, Boruto and Sarada come rushing in, opening a package with a bomb inside. Good thing it says bomb too, and also good thing they can just deactivate it. In the conversation, Wish Kakashi notices that there should be more such packages, and indeed, there were. And one of them is even being delivered. Team 25 wants to prevent the worst and intercept the surprise mail. Haku is good at combining 1 plus 1, that's why she finds the package, and when there were only 30 seconds left, they hold the seal in front of it, which doesn't work. So, throw the package away, make a shield and get credit from Kakashi. Not only that, but Team 25 loves each other again and gets a new sensei, namely Sensei Healthy Basement 10. In a movie, two say goodbye quite tragically. Women are touched, while Boruto didn't check anything. While walking with Konohamaru, a woman is chased by 3 guys. When she almost fell off the stairs, Konohamaru rescued her, which seems to have immediately fallen in love with her hero. At dinner they eat lemon burger with fucking peel? Everyone likes it except Konohamaru. They show her around Konoha, buy her a brace and tell her something about the history of the village. In the process she says that she thinks Konohamaru is cute and is saved again. And then in the evening she's found again by the pursuers. These are not just any randoms, but servants of her house who are supposed to bring her back home since she has run away. She goes home, as do the other 2. The next day, however, Konohamaru is still thinking about her. It occurs to Jojo that he has fallen in love with her. So Boruto makes his way to her home with Konohamaru to bring back her tissue. But when they arrive, she shoos them away again. Remen acts like this because she already has a fiancé whom she will marry soon. On the way back, they meet a little girl who tries to get home with the help of a stick. She happens to live in the same village as Remon, so they might as well take her home. Remen is to be locked in a special room until the wedding, and her hairpin is also taken away. The little girl had suddenly forgotten where the village was, which apparently happens in the village quite often. Because Soma, an evil monster, steals people's memories, and if Remen doesn't get married, the seal will break, allowing the monster to come out completely. For this, the hairpin protects a person from losing the memories. The tissue is handed over, and the next day, Remen's attendant instructs them to find out something about the fiancé Kankitsu, because he disappears every evening. Only when the 2 absolutely not obviously observed him, he behaves quietly. And of course, he is pulling out people's memories. Konohamaru chases Kankitsu to a cave where he is caught. Boruto goes to Asaki, who can't remember anything. She pursues Kankitsu to the cave where he tried to stab the brace into the seal, but is stopped by her. Kankitsu now wants to Hakai her, but is stopped by Boruto. A fight breaks out in which Boruto loses part of his memories. He takes off, no longer knowing what's going on, and falls into a river. Konohamaru is placed under arrest because the village has filed a complaint. Boruto wakes up at the training field, doesn't check anything and goes back home. Meanwhile, Kankitsu wants to rush the ceremony. And at home, Boruto notices the hairpin, even though he has no use for it. Konohamaru wants to get to the bottom of the mystery, and Boruto remembers more and more that happened. With the hairpin, he goes back to Konohamaru, who also knows approximately how he can stop the whole thing, and together they go back to the village. Acting on his own authority. Well, if Konohamaru is not deprived of his shonen rank here. The ceremony starts. Together they now want to cut off the horns, but Kankitsu destroys the seal instead, which makes the monster come out again. Kankitsu faints, and with that the last bit goes into the monster. The monster can erase all memories with just one touch. However, it doesn't want to attack Konohamaru, which he takes advantage of and locks him up. Outside, Kankitsu, who was controlled by Soma the whole time, wakes up again. Remon decides to seal Soma inside herself, but this would cost her all her memory. Konohamaru, however, thinks of something better. He gets his summon Enra, who turns into a staff, and together with many talismans, they can hold Soma, but only for a short time. Konohamaru already has no chakra left, so now he's rescued by Remon. She absorbs Soma. Konohamaru takes her in his arms, knocks off their horns, with which Soma disappears and Remon knows nothing anymore. She has forgotten everything, but she can still talk. So Konohamaru and Boruto go home again. Remon feels better and Konohamaru, yeah, he's actually doing pretty well too. Let's come to a conclusion. This season was actually good for Boruto. We have 7 good episodes, 6 average ones and 1 bad one. Even though they disguised the flashback episode relatively well and tried to make something useful out of it, it was still more than stretched out and completely unnecessary. Still, the Mirai arc was pretty good, and the other episodes for in between weren't really Boruto bad either. I'm really positively surprised. And if the other seasons even get better, I might even look forward to it.